justice. And it's not because I think David is innocent. I think David is 100% guilty. I think David is one of the most vile, evil human beings we have ever witnessed on earth. But unfortunately, evilness comes with some genius. And when you give a gore-obsessed, true crime super fan 6 months to cover up a murder minimum, you probably gonna have to do some extreme police work to figure out what really happened. And I don't think that extreme police work has taken place. We still don't know what happened. So excuse me, by the way, if I'm a tad bit frustrated after I watch a press conference.
Not for real, though.
They're announcing first-degree murder charges against somebody.
He needs to go to prison.
But yet these people are refusing to say he murdered her. Again, slow it down and truly understand what I just said. They did a press conference to announce first-degree.
Man, if y'all want to hear the rest of this story, we could stay on this video. But before we get too far into this, let me let y'all know about something. If you have any medical bills, student loan debt, or credit card debt, make sure to hit the link in the description. It's no obligation and completely free, but check out what options may be available for you to help you get out of debt, potentially 10 times faster today. Check it out.
Good job, my brother. We rocking with you.
But yet the detective, the police chief, and everybody involved deliberately went out of their way the entire press conference to not say David murdered Celeste. They in turn says the last time she was found alive was in David's house, and that's as far as they were willing to go. They did not say David murdered Celeste the entire press conference.
Ms. Rivas was a reported runaway from Riverside County. During the course of our investigation, detectives learned that she had been involved in a sexual relationship with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult. On April 23, 2025, Ms. Rivas arrived at Mr. Burke's home in the Hollywood Hills. That's the last time she was known to be alive. On September 8, 2025, Ms. Rivas' dismembered and badly decomposed body was discovered in the front trunk of Mr. Burke's impounded Tesla. From that moment forward, our investigators faced an extraordinary, difficult, and complex case. The condition of her remains delayed the medical examiner's ability to be able to determine cause of death. The substantial amount of time that passed between her death and the discovery meant that crucial evidence had degraded or disappeared. And as detectives worked to uncover the truth, they also had to sift through and debunk a great deal.
On April 23, 2025, as been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time, went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again.
Bruh, this is crazy, y'all. Like, why are we not arresting him? Put him in prison immediately. It's clear as day, but I'm gonna let the story play out. But now it's clear as day. We don't need to keep talking about it, bro. Put him in prison.
The language was, she was last seen on this day. Last seen doesn't mean that's when she was murdered. And I feel like if you're gonna charge somebody with premeditated murder, you will at least have to know the day she was murdered. I feel like knowing the day she was murdered should be the literal foundation of where you built this case on top of. But if, she was last seen on April 20th. Yeah, this weirdo could have kept her tied up in the basement, went on tour and have somebody else murder her. Right? That could have been that. So why don't we have more specifics? Why don't we have a day when she was murdered? Y'all talked to everybody involved in this situation. Y'all put the heat and the pressure. Y'all told us. We ain't know. Y'all told us. Oh, she was in the grand jury. Oh, she was giving it to them. Oh, she had them ready to cry. So she had them ready to cry during the interrogation, but she ain't get a day out of David homies yet? It doesn't make sense at all to me, man. Now, again, it's not a big deal. They didn't say out of their mouth David murdered Celeste ever during this press conference, but if they're charging him with first-degree murder, do they really need to? Now, they are charging him with first-degree murder. They're charging him with lewd acts with somebody under 14, which, amazing, he should, because he's a creep as well. Now, they're also adding special circumstances to this, which is, is almost going to make it impossible for him to get out of jail on bail. But here are the actual charges they're charging David with.
As we will show in a court of law, and what I also want to make sure about that the understanding of these charges is clear, is my description of these charges is not evidence that we are going to present in court. These charges, in fact, will not be evidence in the court. Evidence will be the witness testimony, the documents, and different types of admissible testimony that we will admit into court in the prosecution, and if it leads to the eventual trial of Mr. Burke, to convince a jury of 12 people beyond a reasonable doubt that each and every one of these charges is true, as well as the special allegations and circumstances that have been alleged. So what you have as well with these charges is that, again, there are 3 sets of charges that have been brought. The first-degree murder with special circumstances, and again, those special circumstances are lying in wait. That Celeste went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of April 23rd, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, at his invitation, and again, was not heard from again. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening on that particular night.
And that's disgusting, y'all. To even have somebody, like they were saying in the past videos, he was paying people to keep quiet so that he could continue to do this with this child, y'all. Like, this is the overall. Everybody in this case should be arrested. All the families, all the people, her parents, everybody.
Charge, in addition to lying in wait and for financial gain, is murdering a witness to an investigation. In this particular case, as the evidence will come out in court, the witness to the investigation was Celeste, and the investigation was into the lewd and lascivious sexual acts committed by Mr. Burke that is the subject of count 2 of this complaint with Celeste while she was under 14 years old.
Here's the good and here's the bad. I like the fact that they're swinging for the fences. It sounds hypocritical. If I'm saying y'all don't have enough, why would y'all charge them right now? I would say I like the fact that they are not just taking, right, like the cheap way out. And the cheap way out would be, hey, judge, we don't have enough for murder right now, but we know this creep was victimizing this underage girl, right, before she was 14 years old. We have proof of that. Charge him with that. Charge him with abuse of the body after the fact. That's it. No, they're swinging for the fence. Let's say, no, this dude deserves the death penalty. He deserves life in prison, and we're going to try to get him life in prison. Because the other stuff, he would have been out within 5 years with the other stuff. Murder is the reason why they're pushing for death penalty and life in prison. So it's good. Now, the bad part about it is, how are you going to prove this stuff? Now, the motive, I'm sure the motive, like, they probably have text messages from Celeste's cell phone, from David's cell phone. They probably got some text where it shows Celeste probably telling David, hey, I'm going to go public with this. I'm going to expose you for victimizing me before I was for. They probably have all the messages, and they're saying, okay, here's the messages of Celeste threatening David. He invites her over, and then she's never to be seen again. That's good. I like that. That's a good motive. You cooking with grease right now. But where you mess up at and where you kind of like let your entire case go to the wayside,
where is it?
Have witness testimony. Now,
Whoa.
if you have witness testimony that really mattered, more than one people would be arrested right now. You see, if you have people telling you, yeah, I heard he did, that's not enough. By witness, I mean people who was involved in this, people who you guys probably brought in, gave them immunity in exchange for their testimony to testify against David. That's what I mean. But the only reason you would get immunity is if you were present, if you were there when David murdered this girl, and you could give him a date, a time, when he did it, how he did it. But they don't got none of that. They don't even got.
That's gross.
David murdered Celeste.
And if they were there, that means they were there. That means they were not participants, but they were actively knowing what was going on when it happened. Disgusting.
So you damn sure don't got nobody who was present or who was well aware. And as far as we know, you guys still haven't arrested a person who was driving a Tesla and parked it. So good side, swing for the fence. Bad side, you don't really got the smoking gun. And when they was asked about the smoking gun, their explanation was like just laughable, because he said everything in his power not to say we don't got the smoking gun, but we working on it.
This relationship, is it possible that you will be arresting other people within his circle, and did he act alone in this death?
Again, with respect to whether or not there's any other individuals or we're going to take any other actions, you will know about them if we do, but at this point I'm not commenting.
Do you believe that you know how she was killed, beyond it being homicide? The actual cause of death?
The coroner's report will be released shortly. Because it is not currently released, I'm not going to be commenting.
But was it determined, not that, if you won't say what it was, but has it been determined how she was killed, beyond it being homicide?
The coroner has made a determination on how Celeste died, and at the point that the coroner's report...
So they know how she died.
Was there a specific...
They just haven't released it yet.
Is there physical evidence that ties David to this murder?
There is physical evidence and there is forensic and digital evidence that we intend to present in court to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
Bruh, he needs to go to jail, bruh.
And just to his question, are you able to tell us exactly what the smoking gun is? And also, if you can address the issue of his visit to Santa Barbara, and that, how does it connect with the murder?
So with respect to the actual details of the evidence we're going to be presenting in court, I'm not going to do that today. As far as the concept of a smoking gun, the smoking gun is the totality of the evidence that we're going to bring to prove any case, whether it's this case or any case, beyond a reasonable doubt.
AKA, there's no smoking gun. There's nothing that we could look at and say, aha, we got him. It does not exist. You know why? Because he had minimum 6 months, maximum probably a year to cover up his tracks. That's as simple as that, bruh. Now, when you listen to David's attorney kind of already tackling these allegations,
like,
she's very careful with her words. And this is why
How you gonna give him a fucking year, bro? A year to clean up, bro? Like, we gotta do better, law enforcement. We knew this man was doing weird, freaky stuff before she even passed away, bro. It's like...
Them not having a smoking gun is gonna be, it's gonna be very hard to overcome. Because the lawyer is leaving everything on the table. She's not saying, David didn't have no idea what's going on. David is unaware of how Celeste killed herself or how Celeste was murdered. She's saying David is not responsible for Celeste's death.
Your Honor, from the media reports, apparently there have been 4 months of secret grand jury proceedings. We believe that Mr. Burke is entitled at the earliest opportunity to an open preliminary hearing and the proceedings not be done in secret. So we are asking for a preliminary hearing to be set at the earliest possible date on the 10th day. Your Honor, we believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death. And we would like to be able to have the evidence come into the light of day at the earliest opportunity in order to establish that. We're asking for April 23rd as a 3 of 10, Your Honor.
Anything from the people?
We'll be very happy to put on the evidence that we've collected in this case in the last several months.
Thank you. So the matter will be set, plea of not guilty has been entered on behalf of Mr. Burke. The matter will be set in Department 105. The matter is ordered assigned to Judge Charlene Almeida in Department 105 for all purposes by the judge of the supervising judge of criminal.
Yes, Your Honor. If I may just put on the record, we have, as soon as the people arrive, delivered a informal discovery request consistent with Penal Code Section 1054 We have been given almost no discovery thus far. We've received a 3-page follow-up report, no autopsy report, and a copy of the complaint. And we would ask the people respectfully to produce discovery at the earliest opportunity.
Your Honor, as I indicated to counsel, there's approximately 40 terabytes of discovery in this case. Moreover, in order to obtain the transcripts from a grand jury investigation, counsel has to file a motion. She knows the way this.
Imagine they come to court day one and they say, you know what? You got us. David is a pedo. David was victimizing Celeste before she was 14. David had an inappropriate relationship with her. However, David did not murder her. David was not the cause of her death. Here's what happened. David and Celeste had a nasty breakup. Celeste did drugs or overdose or did it to herself. David panicked and tore off her body and chopped it up and tried to hide as much as possible to hide his secret of him being involved in an inappropriate relationship with Celeste. Imagine on day.
That's some bullshit. Y'all know it. This not, bruh. But if they are able to spin it in that way, bro, like a blade, I'm gonna be highly disappointed, bruh.
That's what they come with. How are you going to refute that with the things you guys have if you guys don't even know how she passed away? If y'all don't know when she passed away. They could very well come to court, cop out to everything, but then say, we didn't murder her, she did it to herself, and here's how. Right? Now, the prosecutors are claiming that the medical examiner, they're going to release something today or tomorrow where they're going to list a cause of death for Celeste. But the thing is, the medical examiner is already on record saying that it's near impossible for them to come to a conclusion beyond a reasonable doubt because of how badly decomposed the body was. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe?
Yeah, right? Let us know down in the comments. How do y'all feel about this? Make sure y'all like, subscribe to Poetics Flacco, watch the original video, and check out any of the other videos that I posted. And of course, like I always say at the end of these videos, make sure that you check that link in the description. Don't be like people around you. I know that you got student loans. I know that you got medical bills. And I know that you have credit card debt. So make sure to hit that link in the description that can help you get out of debt 10 times faster. 10 times faster. Come on, y'all. And how do y'all feel about this whole situation? Do y'all think that the police were wrong for arresting him too quickly without the case being ready to put him in jail? Or are y'all just happy to see him in cuffs? And what do y'all think the ultimate outcome will be overall? But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'm going to let y'all enjoy your day. I just wrapped up doing some orders. I was out in Virginia, so I'm a little tired.
I was happy in the edge of a drunken hour, but have another miserable hour.